This is my Airfix 32 scale Strongpoint. Makes a great way of displaying your 32nd scale or 35th scale figures and vehicle collections. Here it's on a vacuum base by Amira, and these are the Airfix 32nd scale plastic soldiers, ready made, just painted up. And I've just also added some American vehicles on my collection just to set the scene. You can't really show any American World War II subject without a Jeep. This is the Tamiya version, 35th scale, fairly recent-ish model. Comes with lots of accessories. Really nice figure. 30 caliber machine gun, and also the device on the front to cut wires that may have been stretched across the road. The Stuart tank is also by Tamiya, and also the Lee. The interesting thing about American tanks, which were supplied to the British in World War II and under the Lend-Lease agreement, I think us British got confused with M2s, M3s, M4s, so we gave them names, and we chose names that perhaps we were more familiar with. So the Stuart is named after I can't say Lieutenant General James Buell Brown Stuart, and he led the North Virginia Cavalry in the American Civil War. They were famous for scouting and raiding over large areas of Union territory. He won the largest cavalry battle at Brandy Station and sadly lost his life in 1864 fighting Sheridan's troopers at Yuma Tavern. The Lee, of course, is named after Robert E. Lee. At the start of the Civil War, he was offered command of the US Army. He chose to serve his home state of Virginia. Lee managed to defeat stronger and better equipped Union armies. In 1865, the rebel cause was defeated, and Lee had to surrender his army to Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. The Arlington Cemetery in America was established on land that belonged to Robert E. Lee's family during the Civil War. The other version of the Lee is called a Grant. The British wanted it modified with a larger turret to accommodate British radio equipment, I believe. And obviously Grant was Ulysses Simpson Grant. At the start of the Civil War, he raised a volunteer unit in Illinois, capturing the Confederate Fort Donelson in 1862. After more success at Vicksburg, President Lincoln promoted him to command over all the US armies. Grant became President of the United States in 1868, serving 2 terms. Like I say, you always have to show a Jeep. And the other American tank from World War II is the Sherman, of course. This is what you might call these days a vintage Tamiya kit with the Easy 8 Sherman. And again, it's named after William Tecumseh Sherman, who led the Union forces and captured Atlanta in 1864. He commanded the Western forces of the Union Army. And I've just included the post-war Sheridan light tank. Again, this is another vintage Tamiya kit. When I was looking at these Civil War generals, Philip Henry Sheridan, his name kept coming up. He was a successful Union general who commanded infantry and cavalry. After success at the Battle of Five Forks in 1865, Sheridan's cavalry cut off Confederate Army's attempts to reach its supplies at Appomattox, and this led to the surrender of General Lee's Confederate forces. And again, it was his troopers that were involved in the death of the famous General Stuart. So I thought I'd just include him. So I hope you've enjoyed it, looking at my collection of American vehicles and based on the Airfix Strongpoint and the base. And I hope it encourages you to maybe buy a Stuart, a Lee or a Sherman. These vehicles were very gratefully received by the Allies in World War II, and long may America's support continue in the cause of freedom. Thank you very much for watching, and if you subscribe, thank you again very much for your support.